Welcome to another hot review. We are nearing the end of our trip to New York. We're actually, this was the haunt we visited on the drive home. Smithfield, Pennsylvania is where we were heading, and we were heading out there because of Fright Farm. Now, I spent a little time in the Morgantown area, Morgantown, West Virginia. Did a little, lived there for a few years, and Fright Farm was one I always heard about. At the time, regretfully, I was married to somebody that wasn't really into haunted houses or anything like that, so I never had the opportunity to go. And on our way back through, we just happened to be coming right through it, and I said, hey, we're going to check out Fright Farm. So that's what we did. Again, Smithfield, Pennsylvania, and this is a pretty massive haunt, and we're going to get into it, some of the good, and regretfully, a good bit of the bad. But we're going to try and give it its absolute fair day in court. We are definitely going to touch. There was some good stuff there. There was some enjoyable stuff there. And we're going to mention every single bit of it. But we're also going to mention why, regretfully in our books, Fright Farm is not one for this particular year that we would have suggested going to. And didn't get the highest of remarks. But doesn't matter. We're going to go over it. And we're going to talk about the good as well as the bad. But anyways, we're going to get right into ticket prices. General admission is $25 on Thursdays and Sundays, $30 on Friday and Saturday. I will give them this. I think the tickets are reasonably priced for the general admission. This is, I believe, there was 5 different attractions. And honestly, it's a lengthy time that you're going to spend there, a lengthy time that you're going to spend in the haunt, but a lengthy time in general. We'll talk about that. They do have Fast Pass. Fast Pass is $50 on Thursday and Sunday, $60 on Friday and Saturday, and there are some VIP packages available. If you want more information on that, definitely go check out their website if that's something you're interested in. Now, ticket prices, again, are reasonably priced. Fast Pass is reasonably priced, and it's honestly here a must, and we're going to get into that shortly. The first thing we always talk about, obviously, is the queue line interaction. Queue line here is massive. This place is very, very busy, but we'll get into some of the things I think they could be doing a lot better with it. But a few things that were positive and that was really awesome as far as the queue line is it's got a bunch of vendors set up. I'm a big fan of that style, big fan of that setup. I love seeing it. We loved it at Terrortown, and it was done pretty well here as well. Again, several vendors. There's all types of food available. They had a ton of burn barrels out on what was a very cold night, so plenty of opportunities to keep warm. And we weren't sure exactly what was happening this particular evening, but there was some type of some group that was there that was drawing a little spotlight and drawing a little attention. So clearly they have some special guests that come in from time to time and are interacting in that queue line. And the most important part and the best part of their queue line, and one of the things that I will absolutely give Fright Farm a huge round of applause, one of the best damn funnel cakes I've had. It was delicious. And just, and funnel cake's such a treat. I don't get it a lot. And I mean, maybe some of you are out there like, man, funnel cake's whatever. I fucking love funnel cake.
Funnel cake's the shit.
Love funnel cake. And if you don't like funnel cake,
fuck you.
Yeah. Well, not quite so much, but yeah, you should be down with some funnel cake. Absolutely. And Fright Farm, I'm going to give you that right offhand, man. Y'all got some damn good funnel cake. That shit was delicious. It's absolutely delicious. All right, so there is some cool things going on with the queue line. I did not see a lot of actors, though, that were out there. I actually, honestly, really thinking back on it, I don't think I saw any actors out there in that initial queue line doing really anything. So that's pretty disappointing. You know how we are on queue line actors. We think they are some of the most important, if not the most important people inside that haunt.
There was one chainsaw actor in the queue line as we were leaving.
Okay. All right, so there was one, but for the group of people, it's not even close to enough. So not impressed there at all. Something else about the queue line that is absolutely atrocious, and we have never, ever, ever complained about the length of time it takes to get into a haunt. It is what it is. But here, it's insane. We went on a Saturday night, so of course busy. I understand that. And we got Fast Pass, and Fast Pass was genuinely very effective. We're going to touch on that shortly. But the line to get in through general admission was so long that we went through Fast Pass, did the entire haunt, came back through the haunt, checked out the vendors, ate our funnel cake, and the number that we would have been assigned in general admission was still 5 numbers back from being called to the fucking line.
To the first haunt.
To the line to get onto the hayride. That is insane. You have to do better than that. That's just not okay. I'm sorry. 2.5, 3, 4 hours just to get in the line. It's going to be another hour. That's, man, in my book, that's not okay. You got to do better than that.
Now, the Fast Pass is phenomenal. And
It is.
yes, if you're paying extra for
It
Fast
is.
Pass, you shouldn't have to wait very long. However, you can send a Fast Pass group in and then send 2 to 3 regular groups in and then a Fast Pass group in. They're still getting a much better value than waiting in your line that long. And you're still showing favors to the people that come and don't have the money to spend on Fast Pass and want to spend the entire day with you.
So, yeah. I guess that's
I'm pretty
all-
passionate about
that's
making
all of
sure that everybody gets in.
But anyways, no, and like Trish was saying, the Fast Pass is very, very effective. We were in and out. They have there's lines throughout the entire haunt for different attractions. And Fast Pass gets you through all of it except for one. There was one where it didn't matter if you had Fast Pass. Everybody was waiting. But it just, for me personally, especially for how disappointing it is inside, just not in any way, shape, or form worth that type of wait. You genuinely have to be able to commit your evening to this place if you're going to go on a Friday or a Saturday night, and you're going to get general admission. You're not going to go see any other haunts. You'll be lucky to probably see your home by 1 a.m. Just very, very slow. And while, again, the queue line setup with the vendors and stuff, it's cool, but it is simply not enough to ask people to wait that long for your haunt. And again, I would have even been more forgiving with the wait had the haunt killed it, but it just didn't. And we're going to get into that now. So again, there's 5 different technical haunts. We're not going to get into the technicalities of every single one of them. But what we are going to do is we are going to talk about what we thought was the best part of the haunt and what was actually a very exciting start to the haunt. We were actually very, very impressed at the start of it. And the particular part that we're going to talk about now is the only reason that they're getting any decent scores at all. Because the hayride was phenomenal. I'm going to give them that. I'm going to give credit where credit is due, and it's absolutely due here. The hayride, which I'd never been on a haunted hayride before, I wasn't really expecting much from it. I don't know. I just didn't see how that was going to be really that scary, or honestly even that entertaining. But they killed it. They absolutely killed it with the hayride. There was a few mistimed scares. But you had actors and actresses that were jumping up onto the moving hayride, grabbing, shaking things around, tossing stuff around, getting in your face, explosions, fire cannons, all types of cool stuff going off over your head, people screaming at you from up top. It was awesome. And the best part of this haunted hayride, and I'll be the first person to tell you that a vortex tunnel is the most overused element inside any haunted house. I don't hate you if you got one. It's no big deal if you do. They're just in every other haunt. However, Fright Farm, round of applause. They had a vortex tunnel designed for this giant tractor pulling this massive, massive sled behind it for this hayride. And they lock you inside this giant garage that is a fucking vortex tunnel. While you're in the hayride, it's actors jumping in and out. It was insane. It was such a great start to the haunt.
He doesn't even like hayrides, and he had a blast.
Had a blast, and like I said, it was such an amazing start. And then when you get to the haunt, you're really fired up. And damn, if it just does not disappoint in every possible fashion that it can. There were really honestly 0 scares inside the haunt. It was boring. It was boring, and I'm sorry. I don't like doing this part of the reviews. I really don't. I don't take any.
Especially places with so much potential.
Yeah. I don't take any pleasure in quote unquote bashing, and that's not the intent. I'm not really even necessarily trying to bash. I'm just being honest about what the experience was, and if you don't like it, you don't like it, and that's fine. But there were no scares inside the haunt. Nothing. Not even a startle. There was no heart. There was no effort. There was no give a shit. The environment was mediocre at best. Exposed fans. Just no attention to detail at all. Very sloppily thrown together. They use a lot of dark lighting to try and hide it, and it just doesn't work out. The props look cheap and gimmicky. I mean, really, honestly, for a good bit of it, just terrible. The costumes were dreadful.
There were hoodies.
Yeah. So I mean, there was, and it's not like it was just one or two.
No.
And it wasn't security. It wasn't workers. It was actors and actresses that were wearing Fright Farm hoodies with a mask on. It was awful.
One actor literally said, "Boo."
Yep, it happened here. And it was. And another reason that it was so disappointing is there are some good ideas going on inside. So they had a maze, which I don't think enough haunts incorporate a real genuine maze. I think, again, we haven't been to every haunt in the country by any stretch. We've only been on the East Coast. I know there's a lot of haunts we haven't seen, and maybe there's a lot of haunts that use mazes and we just haven't been there to them. But for the most part, none of them do. And this place did. And it was a good maze. It was even misleading because it starts off kind of easy and you're just rolling through it and you're like, whatever. And then you kind of get genuinely lost and it's dark. And it could have been played up so well and done so awesomely, but you got every actor and actress inside of it's wearing a damn hoodie with a mask on, and it's just not okay, and there's no effort in it. I'm sorry, if I walk around a corner and there's somebody wearing a hoodie, some of which didn't even have masks or makeup on, they were just people in hoodies, and they look at me and go, "That's the wrong way." The hell with you. I paid $60 to get in here, and this is the best you got. This is it. You got people in hoodies in what is a good idea and should be an enjoyable experience inside of this maze, and you blow it because the acting is so bad. And I'm sorry to say that. I really am. I take no pleasure in this, but it was bad. It was bad acting. It was bad effort. It was bad environment. It just didn't have it. And it really, really sucks because the hayride was awesome. It really was awesome. It was a great job with the hayride. But it just flops and it can't get out of its own damn way half the time. It's almost like, in my humble opinion, they're trying to do too much and they've spread themselves too thin, and there's just not, take away part of this haunt. Make it a little smaller. I mean, it's huge. It's a massive, massive haunt. You're going to be in the thing every bit of 35, 45 minutes. I'll give them that. But it's almost too much, and there's things that they can and did do well. And if they could focus on that and making the whole area like that, instead of just trying to make it as long as possible, you're not getting your money's worth. I wanted out, and not in a good way.
And we were so excited to go.
We really were. And I heard so many good things about Fright Farm. I was genuinely shocked. And I hope maybe we were just there on an off night. But I don't know. I don't buy it. It's the middle of the season. It's a Saturday night. This should be your A game, man. This is it. This is your time to shine. And it just didn't shine at all. It was really, really bad. Again, a few high points, including some damn good funnel cake. And I will reiterate that. That's some damn good funnel cake. Man, delicious. Regretfully, those experiences, the hayride, the funnel cake, those few high points, they were just outweighed by so many low points.
But you have such an amazing location.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things going on there.
There is. There's so much potential. I want to see it get better. I want to be able to go back again and really enjoy it, but not with hoodies.
Yeah, not with hoodies.
And not for that price with hoodies.
So, but anyways, we're going to get into the ratings here. 4 categories, as always. But in case it's your first time watching, and if it is your first time watching,
Hello!
yeah, hello. And understand, most reviews aren't like this, but this particular one is. Well, environment, acting, scare rating, and the overall experience. We'll start off with environment. This was their highest score, 6 out of 10. Again, there are some high points, 5 different haunts. You got the vendors in the queue line. The complex is massive, and it does look really cool on the outside. Very intimidating looking building. The inside of the haunt is just completely bland, completely uninteresting. There's no theme. There's no cohesive story to it. Not that every haunt needs a cohesive story. It doesn't. But there's just nothing that draws your attention. There's nothing that's interesting. There's nothing that doesn't feel like it's just another damn dark room.
And that hayride got you most of your points.
It did. The hayride, I honestly scored almost all of them.
Phenomenal.
Scored almost all of them, especially that vortex tunnel for the hayride. It's great. You just need to do more of that and less of everything else that was happening that night. Acting, 3 out of 10.
Again, the hayride got you the points.
This is the most vocal she's ever been in one of these.
I'm passionate about this one.
But not in a good way. So, but anyways, the hayride did have some good actor scares. It had some good acting in it. There was even some people inside, while they were few and far between, that were giving it the old college try. Were giving it some effort. But man, there were just so many others that it felt like they didn't want to be there. That was the general vibe I got. They were upset that you were there. Seemed like you were bothering them being there. They didn't want to put on a show, and they all just wanted to go home. That was our experience. The only reason it wasn't a 1 out of 10 was just for the few that were inside trying, and the hayride. The hayride again. Scare factor. It's another 3 out of 10. The hayride saves your ass one more time, keeps you away from what would have been a 1 out of 10.
And hayride, guys, everybody that was in there,
good job.
You did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody else drug you down, so don't feel bad about the 3 for you guys in particular.
But anyways, so the hayride, it does score again. It gets you a couple points. It's just completely overwhelmed and outweighed by the disaster that was the rest of the haunt. And I'm sorry, I don't know how else to describe it. It was terrible. Overall experience, you did get a 4 out of 10.
Funnel cake.
Not great. Yeah, funnel cake, hayride, midway, the vendors, they got you all of those points. And the wait is painful. It's painfully long, guys. It is just too much. 4 hours. I mean, it would have been every bit of 4+ hours to get in through general admission. That's craziness for the level of haunt you're bringing. It just doesn't compare. It's just not worth it. Fast Pass is phenomenal. I'll give you that. Funnel Cake again was great. Hayride was awesome. The rest of it, man, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, just wasn't there. 4 out of 10, not highly recommended. If you're in the area, you ain't got nothing to do that night, and you want to kick it with them, go kick it with them. I hope to see some improvement. I hope to go back. But, it just... Sorry, Fright Farm. You just didn't do it for us. But until we see y'all again, and our next review be coming out soon. Be seeing y'all shortly.